Hi guys, and welcome back to Analogue Hate Story. So for those of you wondering how come I knew there were 5 endings, this little place is how I know. So I'm guessing, you know, when you leave you somehow be able to take one of the 2 AIs with you. I have no idea what that is. And Harrow, I'm guessing you take both of them with you. But yeah, this one is the one I'm most confused about, so it's likely to be the one that I get last. So let's just load this up. And access logs. So we were looking at block 2. And we were looking at letter 5. I'm showing that to mute. Because I do want to get 100% of the logs, so... it was only after I finally started to become comfortable with you, confident that you were really mine and got... mine, and that I didn't have to work to impress you, that things got complicated. My husband had left for the day, and you were still lingering, having spent the night with him. But it was for me that you had a new love poem. Yeah, for me that you had a new love poem, and I undressed you while you sang it. Well, when you were done, you clung to me, stripping me in turn. I cannot read today, apparently. While I simply kissed you and ran my hands from your tiny waist to your smooth ankles, and soon enough we were both naked. At first I'd felt so uncomfortable exposing my body like that to you, as if you'd see it and finally realise how old I am, but you never seemed to mind, not as you placed your soft kisses on my breasts, nor as you straddled me with your legs around my waist and arms around my neck. I was so entranced I was at that moment, that I never heard the footsteps outside. We started to kiss when the door suddenly opened. What a scene to walk into. There my husband was, in the way, his courtesan and his wife naked together, now still connected by a strand. For a moment nobody said anything. In that time, I felt terror as never before in my life. Sang-min is not a gentle man, and while he hardly ever raised his hand to me, I was still overwhelmed with horror, that he might hurt me, or even worse, that he would hurt you. I had seduced you, but in that moment, I realised if he did try, there was nothing I could do to protect you. Just as we were stammering, I'm sorry sirs, he just laughed and laughed. Well, he said, ogling that cold stare of his, I'm certainly paying you enough for 2. And then he walked over and raised his hand, and I stared in terror, but all he did was pat you on the head as though you were a child. I don't know what she told you, but you don't have to pay any attention to her. Easier to just ignore her, really. All you could do was start to stammer. I wanted to. We were both so afraid, but he just laughed and shrugged. Whatever, he said as he passed through the other door. Neither of us knew what to do other than climb off each other and scramble to cover ourselves back up. While we both clumsily tried to dress ourselves, Sang-min walked back through the room once more carrying a satchel. He'd forgotten it for work, I suppose. Don't stop on my account. If you ask permission, you can do whatever the hell you want, he said, and then he laughed again. Don't know what you think you're even going to do, though. Aren't you 2 missing something? Yeah, lesbianism obviously is not really a thing here. It's like back when it didn't exist. Which has never been the case, but you know. I wish he'd struck me instead. It would have hurt me far less than what he said, or what you had to watch me do. What did she have to watch him do? Just imagine the scene, her on the hall pleading with her husband being mocked like that. I don't want to imagine it, it's sad. Pitiful isn't the right word, it's sad. Like... It's sad because they don't feel like they can be together. It's not pitiful, if that makes sense. I know, right? I mean, really, what an awful, pitiful scene. It's not what I mean. It's not... I'm not saying he didn't have the right to say those things. Of course he did. Blech, that's his prerogative, apparently. And sure, she was a bad wife, but still, even if he had the right, that is a shitty way to treat her. You're an AI, you shouldn't be allowed to swear. He should have been a better man than that. Just, really, what a pathetic scene. Just absolutely pathetic. He should have been ashamed, not laughing. Just no sense of shame. I'm glad you think so too. Anyway, I'll let you get back to reading. Thank you. So let's read letter 6, which I'm showing to M. It's so unfair. Why couldn't you have been born a man instead? Sure, you'd lose your beauty and the gentleness I love about you, but at least you'd be able to do something. And Sang-min would be jealous instead of thinking of you as completely unthreatening. I just know you want to be able to stand up for me, and it's killing me to see that you're powerless too. Right now, he's happy to keep me around. You know, it gets him off to have something to hold over my head. I had no idea you were so lustful that you'd even settle for a woman, he says. What's that like? Well, he settles for a woman. The worst part, I know that the only way to keep seeing you is to play along. Oh well, you know, for a girl my age, I respond, pressing my hands against my face to look like embarrassed. It's just playing. It's not the same without, you know. I trail off because he thinks it's so cute and I'm too ashamed to say the word cock. Poor girl, he says as he roughly gropes me, and I force out all those soft moans and gasps to make him think that is really making me happy, and I say, awful things, love. I say awful things about you and it kills me. It just kills me. And then I beg just to see more of you. I don't know what leaves a worse taste in my mouth, him or those words. What else can I do? I'm sorry, Sojin. I know the last time I talked with you, all I did was cry. Thanks for not asking. It was just so hard to hold it in while smiling cutely for your husband. We have the worst fate ever, don't we? So sad. It's not disgusting. They taught her letters so she could write that. I guess letters are like this big, like, massive, fancy thing. There's not enough data storage and, you know, whatever. I think she still has the right to write whatever she wants. That's why a smart man say it stays the hell away from horse. Deception is just what they do. Well, that's what in general, I guess, now that I think about it. Still, I bet if he'd read what she'd written here, he'd never have wanted to sleep with her. I think he knew, and I think he liked it, and I think he liked teasing them and feeling powerful. That's just what I think. And now finally number 7. Meat. Last time we spoke, I poured wine for you rather than the usual tea. It seemed as though you needed it. I held you tight while you drank, petting your hair and wiping every tear to drop from those deep, sad eyes. He's going to get bored eventually, you had said, and though I tried to comfort you, we both knew it to be true. I could try pressuring him to buy you, I had offered. It was our only option, really. If he didn't, you'd simply return to the service of the government, to be rented out to who knows who. We would never meet again. Thanks, he said. Do you think he'll listen? You asked. I wish nothing more to be able to lie to you and say that of course I did. But that wouldn't be right. No, I said. I couldn't. We sat for a long time in silence. Finally I said, even that would be worse than what you deserve. He owns me, and see how I'm treated. I wish you could have far better. Sorry, he said. Please don't be. All this is my fault. If I had just been a good wife and left well alone, all this heartbreak could have been avoided. I said, trying to calm you. But you only cried even more. When you had no more tears left, you spoke again. What about the other courtesan he bought? The real mother of Minhee? What if you blackmailed him? If only. I would do it gladly for you, but the royal family already knows. I shot off my mouth in front of Meat once without thinking, and soon enough, it was my fault too. Oh, you said. What if I gave him a son? You suggested, even though I knew how appalling your thought was to you, and I couldn't help but laugh when I thought why it would never work. Oh, Hannah, I said. Do you think the reason I've never gotten pregnant was for lack of trying? I stroked your cheek. In the months you've been with him, has your period even been disrupted once? No, you said as you realised what I was saying. It would never work. As tears fell from your eyes once more, you started to laugh too. I figured it was just, you know, all chance. I shook my head. No child in the first year of marriage. That is chance. I laughed sadly. Whether he is too proud or too stupid to realise, I know not. But one child in 11 years of marriage? That is not chance. That is an impotent man raising someone else's daughter. You look at me, realising the plan was doomed. There aren't any real men in this house, are there? You said, finally. We laughed and laughed. Your future's so sadly uncertain. You are really urgently trying to talk to me there. Well, there you have it. Scandalous, sordid story of noble wife Sojin and her husband's whore. Keep going back and forth on how I feel about the whole thing. On one hand, I feel pretty bad for Sojin. She should never have had to sink to that for her sake. Different cultures. I can't tell if you're blonde or not. On the other hand, it's not like she didn't make the decisions herself. It'd be wrong to cover it up, right? I respect her, but at the end of the day, she still did do unspeakable things with the whore. I'm just kind of conflicted, especially now that she's long gone. Anyway, what do you think of it all? I don't think it's hot because I'm not into that, but it definitely wasn't awful, so I'm gonna go with it's hot. What? You really? Is that what you actually meant to say? Oh yeah, you're gonna think I'm a lesbian. I might be going down the mute ending here, apparently. You're saying you can empathise with that kind of depravity? Yeah, if you love someone, you love someone. Wow, that's Seriously, you're going to admit that? Is that because you think yourself like a man, because you get to go off travelling independently? Wow, that's... Wait. You're not... Is that why you've been talking to me so much? Because you have the heart for me? No, I don't, but I'm going to say... Hold on. There we go. Yes. Well, I'm not some whore, okay? I'm not interested in that. When I said I wasn't a real woman, I didn't mean it like that. That's not okay. I'm not interested. I would never... That's... It's disgusting. Forget it. I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's awful. Let's just move on, okay? Like, forever. Let's move on forever. Let's pretend I never heard you say that at all. So gross. I think the lady did have to protest too much. You got something else to say to me? Oh, not this again. Say the same things over and over. You could at least blank them both out at the same time. Let's have a look at blog. Right, so... Block 4. And it'll be morning dress. Ooh, you know what helps if my pen doesn't run out? That would really help. Switch to purple. Right. Normally my conversations with Mute are of rather frivolous nature, gossiping the affairs of some of the more important noble houses, as well as her trying to bait whatever she is able to out of me. While I think much of a flow of information as possible is valuable, my words are bad, so I might pass news to my husband that he might not otherwise hear, I would not consider her attitude to have any resemblance to seriousness. Previously, it assumed that this was simply impossible due to her nature. While I do not really understand how, despite her explanations, anyone could live inside a computer screen, she says that she's an artificial person. I had assumed that perhaps her absence of a soul prevented her from feeling serious emotions. Ordinarily, she wears incredibly bold, colourful clothing, her golden hair absurdly well adorned. For the past month, however, she's been uncharacteristically humble, wearing an unappealing brown dress with her hair undecorated. My curiosity got the better of me at last. Please, I've wondered, why are you so attired? It is unlike you, I asked. She gave me an odd look. Huh? She asked. It's a morning dress. That much was obvious, and not particularly the thrust of my question. Did you not tell me you were thousands of years old and you have no family? For what reason are you wearing mourning? She gave me an annoyed look. Friend of mine died, okay? No, I don't have family. It's always just been me. But this guy was a really good friend, and he definitely deserves that kind of respect, she said. We were super close. Do you wish to tell me about him? I asked. She gave me another look that I couldn't quite read, but it seemed somewhat sad. Nah, she said. I don't want to talk about it. Not now. I miss him too much. Hey, I'm gonna go now, okay? I'll talk to you later. I said goodbye to her and she disappeared from the computer screen. But as she did, I could have sworn that I saw her start to cry. Oh, you're so sad, so sad. It's none of your damn business. I'm not going to justify myself to you, okay? Okay, but you made yourself, you know, colourful, as if to say that there was something you wanted to say. Letter 2. Sang-min High. 3 pages, okay. Oh, dearest brother of mine. As I'm sure you know, it's been 3 years since my husband died. I still mourn him in my heart, of course. And I'm sure I will forever, but the official mourning period's over. You probably also know that the Huang family isn't doing terribly well right now. Terribly, in fact. And it's only got worse when my husband died. It didn't exactly help that we only had daughters, so I don't exactly have a son to look after me. Right now I'm completely at the mercy of his parents, and, well, as I said, no son. They only took me in because of that big dowry. Sure, they never liked me, and it's only gotten worse. Way worse. They sure never liked me, even. So, I need you to help me out, Min, or they're just going to abandon me. Do you remember that story we read together as a child about that widow who had turned to begging? I'm sure you remember how it ended. Well, that's going to be me at this rate. Don't worry, though. I have a plan. I've talked to my husband's brother about this, and I also managed to discreetly fish some information out of his parents. They'd be willing to let me get married to him, and all you need to do is chip in a new dowry. 1.5 times the old one would be enough. That was a huge dowry before, and now I want 1.5 times. Please respond as soon as possible, little brother, because I really need your help here. Love, Sang-hee. Okay, that's a sad thing to have to ask, you know. Response? And Sister, calm down. They may not be nice, but I'm sure they're not going to kick their son's widow out in the street. Do you have any idea how terrible that would look for them? It'd be a huge disgrace on their name. As for remarrying, I'm sorry, but that's a lot of money you're asking. Besides, you know how much remarriage is looked down upon. Chaste widowhood may be a difficult standard to hold yourself to, but you will be honoured forever if you can manage it. And if anyone is good enough to live up to that standard, I know it's you, big sister. I wish I could give you an easier way out, but I hope you realise it's the best that way. Okay, basically saying, hey, I don't want to spend any money on you, even though you've got no choice because, you know, you're a woman. This is why it's better that women are no longer property, in my opinion. Oh, generous and benevolent younger brother of mine. I know you think I'm being hysterical and exaggerating. I'm not, I promise. It's funny you mention the importance of chaste widowhood because they're talking about that too. Of course, I don't think you've got the same ideas in mind. They're talking about the sort that ends in honourable suicide. Actually, they've been talking a lot about it. We would, of course, go with that option. Take my own life to honour his memory. Would you like to help me out with that? I'm not very good at either holding knives or tying nooses ever since the arthritis got serious. But if you could help out, that plan could work. If you're too busy to help your sister kill yourself though, you could just do the next best thing and send that dowry. I'm sure somehow you'll manage to figure out a way to find the money. I have faith in you, little brother. I remind you again, of course, that appealing to a family's honour is a waste of time. Father married me to a merchant, remember? You're talking about honour. But trust me, I've lived in this house for over 2 decades and I've looked everywhere, even under the sitting cushions. They just don't have any. So I'm going to ask you once more, little brother, can you either send a new dowry or failing that, come by with a nice sharp knife? But if you can't bring yourself to do at least one of those things, then my destitution is on your head. Do you think Father would be proud of that? You are the son, you tell me. With love, your sister Sanghi. That was a majorly sarcastic letter. Okay, so response number 2. Sister, you can be death of me, but I won't be the death of you. Fine, I'll figure something out. Tell his parents that I can offer them as much as the old dowry. I'll send a messenger by next week to work out the delivery of it. You're such a woman, do you know that? Manipulative to the core, that's what you are. The death of me, I swear. She has no choice because she's property. She's not allowed to earn her own money, you know. That's why there has to be a dowry. Dowry's like, oh, well, you know, she can't give you money, so here's the money to look after her. You know, it's, exactly. Right, let's go to block 9. You know, you should give me some, you know, new stuff at some point. That would be great. Okay, new bruise. There's only this one in this block, which makes it a bit easier. Dearest mother, I really could use your advice. Husband has been working very late into the night recently on some business that he won't even share with me. I understand his reluctance to talk to me about things his superior has sworn him to secrecy on, and that damn child has been keeping me plenty busy anyway. But I wish he could still tell me. Last night he was out even later than normal, and when he finally did return, he had a black eye, his face and hands bloody, he looked really bad. The sight of that really scared me. Of course, you of all people know that I'm hardly squeamish at the sight of blood. It was how hurt he looked. I hurried into the kitchen and started to clean his wounds. I admit my voice wavered when I asked, "Husband, what happened?" He was reluctant to answer, and grunted in pain when I convinced him to put ice in his bruised eye. He finally did, and you absolutely can't repeat what he said to me. Do you understand? Not a word of it to anyone, not even Father, but I truly need advice. I had some questions for the High Magistrate's office. He sent his brother, Smith Sankyu, to answer them. That's the dumb, nasty one. My husband trailed off thinking. I asked him something that he didn't agree with. I had the moral high standing, but he had the physical high standing. His wound's clean, I didn't know what to do, but touched the uninjured part of his face to comfort him. Then he joked. Turns out his argument hurt a whole lot more than mine. I could tell underneath that he was truly hurt. What do I do, Mother? How is a woman supposed to respond to such an awful thing happening? I tried to comfort him as best as I can, but I just don't know what else I can do, Mother. Please, you must have some advice. What does Mute have to say about this, then? Hey wait, that reminds me of something else. You know Hannah, right? The who got herself seduced by Sojin? It's not a lot of writing from her, but I've got a log entry from Kim Young-suk. You probably want to see it. Yes, I do. I'll let you get back to it then. Yes, it is something I'm interested in. Because I want... Oh, I figured out, by the way, I can't get 100% completion because of that entry that Hyung deleted at the start. Because I showed it to her by Mute before we discovered Mute. So I'm going to have to like go on New Game Plus, I think, to get 100% apparently. Yay. New bribe. The incident occurred right as I was leaving the magistrate's office after a late night of going through some of his paperwork. The corridor lights had long ago dimmed and the office should have been empty, so the horse linked against the wall right aside definitely stood out. She was small and looked very young, and obviously she was dressed like any commoner with her arms covering otherwise exposed breasts and all. I won't lie and say she wasn't attractive, she certainly was. I'm sure she's very good at her role. Hi, the horse said, approaching me. You're Kim Young-suk, right? I said yes. My name is Hannah, she said, offering her hand to shake. It's an honour to meet you. I didn't take it and told her that it wasn't appropriate to be talking to her now. But I've a message from Smith Sang-min that he really insists I deliver, the horse said, moving closer. Can I come inside? I said no, of course. Even then I could tell exactly where this was going and was not pleased. Please, he was really insistent, she said, putting her hand on my face and smiling. I slapped it away instantly and shoved her into the wall. Tell him I said no, I snapped at the whore and walked away. She chased after me for a while, but eventually she seemed to realise that she wasn't going to get to me and gave up. She was gone by the time I got home. I still can't believe he actually thought that would work. Now I want to know more about what the High Magistrate's association with that whore even was. Okay. So now we just have block 10 to go. So let's underline block 10. Part 1. That's, there's a lot here. I think I'm going to leave this section to the next episode. So we should get through all of these and hopefully start showing some of the ones that I've just shown to Mute to Hyung Ai as well, if I'm saying her name right. So thank you for watching and I will see you another time. Bye bye!